Good evening. My name is Erica Rodriguez, also known as Mrs. Rodriguez by my second graders. Some people might say I'm a newbie. While I've been teaching for a while, this is my first year teaching in Chicago Public Schools. And my first year hosting a SitStayRead in my classroom. At Cameron Elementary, like many of the schools SitStayRead serves, our students live with sobering realities. To qualify as a SitStayRead school, this means that 90% of our students at Cameron are receiving free or reduced lunch. Our kids are living at and below the poverty. Not surprisingly, our school also struggles with literacy rates. Poverty can make it hard to focus on learning. The reality is that while some of my students do come from stable homes, many do not. Most of our students at Cameron are in transitional housing. This means that they're not living in permanent housing. Instead, they're bouncing from shelter to a family's friend's house, back to a shelter. Throughout all of this, it's not uncommon for a student to bounce between different schools. Our students face the realities of hunger, potentially abusive family structures, and unsafe neighborhoods. When you are fighting for basic survival, how can you expect to focus on academics? Well, yes, this is my first year teaching with Chicago Public Schools. This is not my first experience with Chicago Public Schools. You see, I'm a product of Chicago Public Schools. And I'm actually being the change I want to see in the world. I grew up in the Bridgeport neighborhood on the south side. I attended Healy Elementary, and when I think back to my time in elementary school, the word and feelings that come to mind for me is not poverty or gang violence or failing literacy rates. Instead, it's home. You see, my teachers found a way to make each one of us feel special. They found a way to make my classroom feel like home. So I know when I was at school, no matter what was going outside of those walls, that I was safe and I was wanted, I was respected, and I was loved. That same feeling and that reality has never left me. And that's that feeling that I try my very best to create in my classrooms. If my students are coming from these harsh realities, they deserve a place that feels like home. But how do you create a home in the classroom? I do it by making connections with my students. I create a home by establishing trust and respect. I create a home by building routine in our experiences, that students know what to expect and how to prepare for the tasks. And this year I've been able to create a sense of home by introducing certified literacy dogs into my classroom. Since partnering with SitStayRead, my students' behavior, attention, and focus has improved. On SitStayRead days, students come to class ready to learn and ready to engage. And while test scores show that SitStayRead is working academically, I cannot ignore the very real social impact the program has on my kids. As I have shared, life can be hard outside of school for my students. One student, Jalen, he's one of those students. He's one from an unstable family background. Not surprisingly, there's something hard about him. Life hasn't been so kind to him, and so his interactions are rough around the edges. I admit I was a bit concerned with how he would react towards the dogs, but what I observed really shocked me. Jalen demonstrated a side that I've never seen before. He was kind and gentle and treated the dogs with such respect. For the first time all year, I watched Jalen let down his guard and simply enjoy being in the moment. All of you are here tonight because you support SitStayRead. I'm here to let you know from a first-hand account that the program works. It increases literacy, yes, and motivates students to read, but it does something else. It allows students to feel special. It allows students to forget, if only for an hour, their realities outside the classroom. So tonight, as you bid on items, I ask you to bid freely and often, because your money not only supports literacy, but it allows teachers like me and every other SitStayRead teacher to turn their classroom into a home that supports, a home that accepts, and a home that excels. Thank you.